Let's talk tight ends. Welcome back to the Black and Gold Standard podcast, and today we're going to talk tight ends. Again, this is probably a position that the Steelers really don't have any big time Hall of Famer type guys. Just they never been a team that really asked a lot of the tight ends, or the tight ends were really a big part of the game plan. So some of these guys, some people may be like, what? But like I say, this is my opinion, and these are the best guys that I could come up with. So here we go. Let's start off. We'll start off with our number 5 guy, and that'll be Mark Bruner, first round pick. Again, like I said, wasn't asked to really be a receiving tight end. He was a hell of a blocker, though. Probably will actually go down as one of the best blocking tight ends in Steeler history. Didn't ask, if you look at his numbers, didn't catch a lot of balls. But again, that was just the offense, and he wasn't really the receiving tight end. He was basically, to be honest, a extra lineman. But he has some soft hands, and he could make some plays here and there. But like I say, probably the best blocking tight end in Pittsburgh Steelers history, in my opinion. So let's move on. Let's move to number 4. This is kind of a surprise here. Pat Freiermuth. I know a lot of people say, well, he's so young, and what has he really done? If you look at his rookie year, he had a great rookie year, and unfortunately, he had some injuries. I know he was dealing with the concussions and some other little minor injuries that hopefully he's kind of got over that. And now he's going to be in a better offense. I mean, he's going to be in an offense that's actually going to use him. And I expect him to catch at least 60 balls this year. 500 some yards receiving, 5 to 7 touchdowns. And if he stay in this offense and do what I think he can do, he'll slowly move up this list. All right, let's go to our number 3 guy. Eric Green, probably the most pound for pound talented guy on this list. Unfortunately, he had some off the field issues that kind of shortened his career here in Pittsburgh. And I want to say they might have went through a contract thing also. But a bigger Jerome Bettis, and not skill wise, but just, I mean, this guy was 6'5". They list him at 290. I want to say he was probably about 300 pounds, but light on his feet, matchup nightmare. He was just so big, he could block you out catching the ball. Then once he catches, you got to tackle him. And this was a big man, rumbling down the middle of the field. Again, some off the field stuff kind of hurt his career a little bit. I think he made it to a Pro Bowl. Was a great talent. Just unfortunately, some things happened that he really couldn't have a long career here. But I think he was the 3rd best tight end in Steelers history. And let's go to number 2. Number 2, Benny Cunningham, played on, won 4 Super Bowls. Was just a guy, he probably was like the 5th option on the offense at the time, but he was a guy with some, some good hands, and Bradshaw would go to him from time to time, and he made plays. He made big plays for the Steelers. Wasn't really asked to block too much, but right, a four Super Bowl champion, I gotta give my respect to him. And like I said before, the Steelers just didn't really have a lot of guys that you could really put on this list. It's maybe two or three that I was kind of going back and forth with. But for right now, Benny Cunningham, number 2, and our number 1 guy, Heath Miller. Heath Miller, I think he was a total package. And what I mean by that, he had great hands, and also he was above average blocker. Him and Big Ben had a special relationship, and he made some big plays for the Steelers. I want to say he won 2 Super Bowl rings with the Steelers. Um, not just a solid tight end. Had a great career, nice long career. First round pick out of Virginia, and not too much more than that. Like I say, it was just kind of hard to find a lot of guys, just because of the offense that the Steelers run. And like I say, their tight ends were never really a main part of their offense. They mostly wanted guys that could block, but time to time when they did find good receiving tight ends, they do use them. And like I say, Heath Miller was one of them. So right now, I would say Heath Miller is my number 1 tight end. And with that, that's pretty much it. We're gonna jump into the linemen. We're gonna do the offensive guards, offensive tackles, and the centers, and that'll get us through the offense. And then we'll start on the defense, where that's where the meat of this team is at. This is what the Pittsburgh Steelers was built off of defense, and that list is going to be very hard because there's going to be some very good guys that may get cut off that list. But until then, take care, and we will talk to you later.